Okay, John, let us now get into our Game 7 preview for the NBA Finals. This is the last big game in sports for a very long time. We probably won't have this buzz around the game until the NFL season or college football, at least. So let's go all in. Let's have some fun. Let's get some bets down. OKC favored by 7.5. Total of 215.5 at the time of this recording. I find that total very interesting because game one of the series opened with a total of 229.5. We're all the way down to 215.5. Now, we know OKC, poor effort in game 6. They looked really bad, but still, this is a team. They haven't lost consecutive games in the playoffs yet. Some might point to a similar situation to the series against the Nuggets. They looked really bad in game 6 in Denver, where they got their ass kicked, and they returned back home in game 7 and beat up on the Nuggets in that one. But I don't know. This series has been wildly unpredictable. You have player props for each of the top guys. Well, maybe debatable on the Pacers side. Some might say Siakam. But you have a prop for SGA on the Thunder side. So let's start with that. What do you like for him here in game 7?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 6.5 assists. Big price. Plus money price here, plus 132. It does feel like I'm just kind of picking on the superstars here because I got 2 superstars, but I think it just kind of plays into the spot. And also the numbers, like SGA, like this open 5.5, pretty heavy juicy over. So I am going for the alt here for the 6.5. Like 6.5, like minus 110 is a normal total for SGA throughout the regular season. And now you're going to give me this at plus 132 in a spot where they're going to want the ball in his hands as much as possible. And you're telling me he's going to play as many minutes as he possibly can. He should be 40 plus minutes in this game. It's game 7, NBA Finals. Like, just think about the spot. Think about who you want running your offense. If you're the Thunder, you want him touching the ball as much as possible. But then the flip to that is, if you're the Pacers, you want the ball out of his hands as much as possible. So that kind of generates assists, right? You need him not to take shots. You need him to be forced into passes. So I think this all kind of plays. I think this total is just down because he's had some really tricky assist spots in this series, which has dropped the total. You saw the one game he had 0 dimes. He had 8 potential assists. Like, that shouldn't have happened. And last game, his minutes are down because it's a huge blowout. He only has 2 assists, so that drops the total as well. But he had 8 potential assists in the short minutes that he did play, or at least not the normal allotment of minutes that he did play. So the potential assists are still kind of there. You saw game 5 when he was at home. He had 15 potential assists, 10 dimes. So I do think you move them back to their home building. His role players should shoot it better. 6.5 plus 132 just really stands out. So I'm going to play the over here for SGA.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the well on the spot I played a lot throughout these playoffs. It is the Pacers team total over. It's way down at 103.5 for game 7 here of the NBA Finals. And I love this bet. I think they're going to go over and score at least 104. So way too much of an adjustment on the full game total, which is down from 229.5 in game 1 to 215.5 in this game. And I'm fading a couple narratives here. I think one narrative is just automatically that, hey, it's a game 7. The players are going to be tight, so we're going to get a low-scoring game. As a result of that kind of thought process, I think the total is set too low. And also another narrative that the Thunder will just get it together and win big at home, as they've done many times throughout the playoff. I think Indiana is going to be the much looser team in this game. All of the pressure is on the OKC Thunder here. They're the team that's supposed to win. They're the team who's at home with the pressure on their back. This wasn't supposed to go 7, but here we are. And I give the Pacers a shot. I wouldn't be surprised if they cover the spread. I don't think I'd be shocked if they end up winning, but at the very least, I think that they get to 104, which is something they've done in every game in this series, by the way. And in 19 of their 22 playoff games so far, give me the Pacers to go over their team total of 103.5. Okay, John. Tyrese Haliburton, he's back. He's able to play. And you like him to do something here in game 7. What are you looking at?
Yeah, I'm going Tyrese Haliburton, A+ assists, plus 144. So again, I'm kind of same kind of angle as SGA here, like game 7, NBA Finals, championship on the line, get the ball in the hands of your best player. But once again, his assist total is also way down here. Like, you're looking at Tyrese Haliburton, if this was regular season, he's 9.5, 10.5, like minus 110. This is 7.5 plus 144. Like, it's plus 144. That's a drastically different price than a minus 110. I think what really benefits you from here for Haliburton is that, so we weren't sure what his status was for game 6. Is he healthy? Is he going to play? What type of minutes will he see? What will he look like? To me, he looked fine. To me, he would have played 35 minutes if the game was close. He didn't have to play those minutes because the game was a blowout. So all his props were lower because they thought like, the injury, we're not sure what he'll look like. And then he didn't really go over all of them. Like I think he went over his point total by a half. He didn't blitz them because his minutes were low because of the blowout. So I think they've kind of kept his props a little too low here. So I think this is giving you a great spot where you can come out in after. I think there's an edge on his points as well. I like the assists slightly better, so I'm just going to go after the assists here. I think there's an edge because those props are too low because they're kind of working off of game 6 and they didn't adjust because he didn't really see the minutes and he didn't absolutely crush them in game 6 like he could have. So 7.5 is just too low. The potential assists have been there. I think he's going to play the 35 minutes he usually plays. He might play slightly more. It is game 7 of the NBA Finals. He looks fine to me. Even if he is slightly hampered, I do think it's much easier to pass than shoot when you're injured as a point guard. So I'm going to go for the assist here, plus 144, 8+ for Tyrese Haliburton.
Okay, John, I've been in the lab all morning, and once again, I've cooked up a blue collar beauty SGP for our guy, TJ McConnell, the best blue collar player in basketball right now. He's going to be running wild out there. That's what he does. He brings the energy off the bench, and he really does fill up the stat sheet in the limited time that he is out there. So he's only averaging 19 minutes per game in the series, but when he's on the court, he's stuffing that stat sheet. He's averaging 21.3 combined points, rebounds, assists, and steals. So here is what we got. Over 7.5 points. He's 6 for 6 at going over 7.5 in this series. Over 3.5 assists. He's 5 for 6 at going over that number in this series. Over 2.5 rebounds. He's averaged 3 in every round in the playoffs so far, including in this round here against the Thunder, and 1 or more steals. He's 5 for 6 at getting at least 1 steal in the series. He has 14 steals in the 6 games here in the series. It all adds up to plus 278. I wish I could add over like 1.5 charges taken, which is the ultimate blue collar thing to do in the sport of basketball, but that bet is not available. If it is at your sports book, you might want to add it on. But this is what I got cooked up. TJ McConnell going to be out there bringing the energy. And John, kind of bittersweet. We're excited here for game 7, but between the two of us, we've placed hundreds and hundreds of bets here on this show. So that's it for the 2024-25 NBA season. But of course, we will look forward to the draft when is the draft? That's coming up.
It's Thursday
June.
or
Thursday. Jeez.
It's Wednesday, Thursday. I think first round's Wednesday. It's really soon. It's Wednesday, Thursday. First round Wednesday, second round Thursday. I mean, the Thunder and the Pacers have like 4 days. They'll be playing Sunday. They have 2 days, Monday, Tuesday. I mean, obviously their scouts have been working on this. The Thunder actually have good draft picks too. So yeah, really soon. They love a quick turnaround for the NBA draft. I think last couple of years it's just we've had a bigger gap because they've been like sweeps and 5-game series. So but this one going 7, so we're only 2 days between that and the NBA draft.
Let's go. Okay, let us leave it at that for today's show, John. Going to be a busy weekend of sports, all culminating with Game 7 of the Finals there on Sunday, which we are absolutely pumped for. So, John, thank you for joining. Shout out to Chris for producing all week. Big shout out to our viewers for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the games tonight and this weekend. Best of luck with all those bets, and we'll see you again on Monday.